Know that he had been chosen from 103.5 The Light to be a recipient for the treatments here, which was absolutely a miracle because it had definitely gotten to the point where we were closing out the school year. It was June, and then I was having the same talk that I have with his father every single year. Like, what am I going to do this year? Oh, he was insanely depressed. Just like so devastatingly depressed. I swear I was depressed for him because his father and I both went through high school normally. We went through schooling normally, and not saying that we feel like it has to be a part of his life, but to see him not have that connection. And then he was so desperate for that connection because he was raised without electronics. He's not one of the electronic generation. He always wanted to go out and find friends and everything. And when he did find friends, he couldn't communicate with them properly. More times than not, they were making fun of him. When we first brought him into Brain Life Center, Ian was having a lot of memory issues. It was incredibly hard for him to recall even more than a two-step command. He wasn't able to communicate really well in school because of him not being able to retrieve that vocabulary from his memory. He was also having a hard time regulating his moods because of all that frustration that was spurring from the processing disorder. And since we brought him into the Brain Life Center, we have seen a huge increase in his confidence. It is such a blessing to see that he is able to recall things. It is actually amazing to watch. Even his tutor afterwards, we were just both sitting there like, I can't even believe it. He'd sit there and read an entire paragraph. He wouldn't be drifting off. It even seemed like his reading had gotten better because of him being able to look at the page and concentrate on it. Since then, his sleeping has gotten better. It seems like he has gotten more restful sleeping, and he has also been able to communicate well with his friends, which is really important. Before he was having such a hard time being able to describe anything to his friends, and he was delayed and therefore gave them younger friends, which is nice. But when you're getting older, like he's now 14 years old, you want him to have those 14-year-old friends. And now he's able to have those 14-year-old friends. And that was one of the best parts. And just him being able to succeed in school, which is an absolute blessing, was something that we never in a million years thought was going to happen with Ian. We always had that hope seated in our heart, but to know that he is actually in there right now, able to do schoolwork in the first 4 years, or the 4 years that I homeschooled him, in the first week of school, they had him read more and write more in the whole time that I had him homeschooling, and that was after the Brain Life Center, which was blowing my mind. Still, he brings home stacks of paper, and I'll look through everything just in awe, like, I can't even... to think that he was barely able to divide when he got out of school or out of homeschooling, and over that summer and got into school, and within a month he was doing algebra. It is insane, crazy. And that's the way I am all the time when I look at his Power School, which is his grade reporting app, and just completely get blown away. He's all A's and B's. And I know he flirts with a C in social studies and a little bit with science, but in algebra, he is constantly in between an A- and a B+. He's getting an A in reading. And then just with him not having any behaviors in school, which is completely unheard of. Never before. It didn't matter what kind of schooling he was in, if he was in the autistic or emotional impairment, or if he was in mainstreaming, or if he was in the county program. We were constantly dealing with the behaviors, with phone calls, with notes being sent home, with all these other things that were going on, or him just being depressed from not having friends, or not being able to communicate with the kids, or not feeling like he can even have something to talk with them about because he just couldn't get the sentence out. And now he gets to enjoy all that. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I talk about it with his tutor and with my husband, his dad, of course. And we're like, he gets to have a life. There was a point there where we were halfway through the process of putting him into an extended care facility where we would be able to see him a couple days out of the month, and that would have been the rest of his life. And now and it's gone beyond, like, thank God he got to stay home. Thank God we've got him to the point where he's not hallucinating anymore. Thank God we've got him to the point where he can at least read a little bit. No, now he has a life. He's actually aware of what's going on with him, and he's got friends. And like, to sit there, he started going to football practice, which he has never been involved in a sport before, ever. He's tried things before, but they've been very short-lived. And now he's in football practice. And I swear, that first day, we take him in, and he's at the high school, and he just goes right in. And I could see through the door at the end of practice that he's got friends. I said, who's that? The other kids from junior high? No, it's high schoolers. There's no kids in the junior high in there. And I'm like, this is nuts. And now, like, to see him get the grades and his confidence grow, and to think that real life is possible for him at this point. I'm not going to be his caretaker for the rest of his life. He's going to be able to, he's learning things that, like, how to take care of himself and not have me over him. And he loves that independence. He absolutely loves it. And I definitely feed into that independence. I try to get him to grow in that, because it was something that we never thought he'd have. I honestly thought I was going to be his nurse for the rest of my life. Like, yeah, and that is the best part, is the life. He gets life with real people and real friendships, and possibility of a real job, and being able to move out of the house. I said, you could go over and get friends and graduate out and travel the country. You never know. And that is like the biggest miracle of all to me, because it was just it wasn't a possibility. It was not. It was almost completely extinguished, like almost hopeless. Like, to think that it was a year ago that we were both sitting here, like, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? This can't be all that's left for Ian. He's so much smarter than this. And he was just so depressed at that point in time. And then to see all of these things happen, it was absolutely 100% worth it. Absolutely.